Here's everything you need to know on what to farm for Phoebe, starting with her material, echoes, and her base team and weapon. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Let's start off with Phoebe's combat role. Firstly, she is a 5-star Spectral Rectifier and her main role is a main damage dealer. And she is also focused on Concerto efficiency, which means she will have a quick regeneration of Concerto energy that can be useful on a quick swap team. Not only that, the kit also deals Spectral Frazzle, which can be very useful on the field later. Phoebe will deal up to 3 consecutive attacks of Holy Light for normal attack. When deal mid-air heavy attack, Phoebe will consume stamina to ride on the staff and can be recast after mid-air dodge or using grapple. Phoebe's resonance skill will summon a ring of mirrors and immobilizing the hit target for 2 seconds. Pressing the resonance skill right after summoning will teleport Phoebe to the ring of mirrors location. This ring of mirror will last for 30 seconds only, and summoning the new one will replace the existing ring of mirror. Ring of mirror also works differently depending on Phoebe's position. When outside the ring, basic attack or dodge counter that hits the ring will reflect holy lights that deal spectral damage to the target inside the ring. The damage will be considered as basic attack damage and can be triggered every once 0.3 seconds. And when Phoebe inside the ring, basic attack will be changed to basic attack channel star, which can deal up to 3 consecutive attack and also considered as basic attack damage. When casting Resonance Liberation, Phoebe will concentrate the light in her hand into the Mirror of Enlightenment, and it will provide another buff to the Absolution and Confession status. For Absolution, it will increase the damage multiplier by 255%, while Confession will add another 8 stack of Spectral Frazzle to the target that hits. For Phoebe's forte, she has a quite unique one where she will possess 2 different forte bar, as the first one called the Divine Voice, which she can hold up to 60 Divine Voice and can be restored by casting Heavy Attack Absolution Litany or Resonance Skill Utter Confession up to 60 Divine Voice. And below Divine Voice bar is called the Prayer. Phoebe can hold up to 120 prayer and will be automatically gains 5 prayer per second. Once Phoebe's prayer is full, you can choose one of the following skills, either go for Absolution Litany or Utter Confession. Holding basic attack to cast Heavy Attack Absolution Litany will deal spectral damage and apply 1 Spectral Frazzle to the target. During this time, Phoebe will enter Absolution status, which allow her to deal more damage. Holding Resonance Skill will cast Resonance Skill Utter Confession, where it will deal spectral damage and apply 1 stack of Spectral Frazzle to the target. During this time, Phoebe will enter Confession status, which allow her to better exploit the Spectral Frazzle even more. Absolution and Confession cannot coexist. When entering into one will end the other status. One thing to remember, Phoebe will not be able to gain this ability when Device Voice is not at 0, which means you need to perform Heavy Attack Star Flash first so she can perform the Radiant Invocation at the next rotation. When Phoebe has Divine Voice, casting Basic Attack Stage 3 or dodge counter will replace the next heavy attack with Heavy Attack Star Flash at the cost of 30 Divine Voice. After casting the Star Flash, it will provide further buff to the 2 status. Absolution enhancements will reduce the cost of Divine Voice by 15, and if the target hits has Spectral Frazzle, the skill will gain 256% damage amplification. That's crazy. And for Confession enhancement will apply 5, another stack of Spectral Frazzle to the target that hits. One of Phoebe's inherent skill, Revelation, will increase spectral damage bonus by 12% when in Absolution or Confession status. Finally, Phoebe's outro skill. Once perform outro skill, she will give 2 different buff also, as the first one, Absolution enhancements, where it will increase the damage multiplier by 255%, while Confession enhancement will give upcoming Resonator spectral damage resistant and grant 100% Spectral Frazzle damage amplification. Now let's talk about Phoebe's resonance change. Which one to prefer or decide? Is she worth at C0 and can she just stay like that? For free-to-play player, this section might not be your main focus, but can consider listening in case you might want to go further with your pulling session later. Let's start with C1. Phoebe's Liberation will increase the damage multiplier for Absolution by 480%, while in Confession, the damage multiplier also increased by 90% and applies Spectral Phrasal with the maximum stack it can receive. For C2, it will amplify the damage of Outro skill to enemies with Spectral Phrasal by 60% when in Absolution. And when in Confession, Silent Prayer will grant 120% more damage increase for Spectral Phrasal, and Heavy Attack Star Flash will apply 2 more stack of Spectral Phrasal. Chain 3 will increase the damage multiplier of Heavy Attack Star Flash by 123%. C4 will reduce enemy Spectral resistance by 10% for 30 seconds when Basic Attack or Basic Attack Chamel Star hits the enemy, while C5 increase Phoebe's Spectral damage bonus by 12% for 15 seconds when casting Intro skill. Last but not least, Phoebe's Chain 6, the final one. Each enemy that enters Ring of Mirror will be immobilized for another 2 seconds and affects all target and only affect the same target once. When in Absolution or Confession, summon Ring of Mirror with Resonance skill will trigger Heavy Attack Star Flash, and this does not consume Divine Voice and not considered as casting Heavy Attack. And now for the weapon section. So for Phoebe, her best in-slot weapon is of course the 5-star version called the Luminous Hymn. Increase the attack by 12% and dealing damage to enemies with Spectral Phrasal grant 14% basic attack and heavy attack damage bonus, which stacks up to 3 times for 6 seconds. Casting Outro skill increase the damage from Spectral Phrasal on enemies near the active resonator by 50% for 30 seconds. Other option than the 5-star weapon, there's also 2 options that you can go for, which is free-to-play version, as the first one called the Ocean's Gift. This weapon you can get from events on version 2.1, and the weapon passive, dealing damage to enemies with Spectral Phrasal, increase the wielder's spectral damage by 6% and gaining 1 stack per second for 6 seconds up to 4 stacks. For the second option is the craftable weapon from Rina's Sita version, the Waltz in Masquerade. Dealing damage to enemies with negative status, increase the wielder's attack by 4% for 10 seconds. This effect can be triggered 1 time per second, stackable up to 4 times, which is perfect since Phoebe can also deal spectral damage, which is considered as negative status with the kids. You can also choose the gacha weapon from the Deep Sky Blazer series called the Fusion Accretion. Casting Resonance skill will give 6 resonance energy and increase the attack by 10%, lasting for 16 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 20 seconds. For this weapon, you can really focus up on getting Phoebe's attack spike way too much and really good on keeping her liberation up all the time. Next up, Echo's suggestion. If we want to fully take advantage of Phoebe's kit, which she mostly do the Spectral Phrasal damage, you can put the new Sonata effect from Rina Sita called the Eternal Radiance. Upon wearing 5 pieces, inflicting enemies with Spectral Phrasal increase the crit rate by 20% for 15 seconds. Attack enemies with 10 stack of Spectral Phrasal grant 15% more spectral damage bonus for 15 seconds as well. This effect will be greatly combined with her forte skill, the Confession status, which allow her to completely exploit the Spectral Phrasal even more. You can also put the existing Sonata effect, the Celestial Light, on Phoebe in case you still haven't farmed the new Sonata yet. Upon wearing 5 pieces, grant another 30% spectral damage for 15 seconds after casting the intro skill. For cost for Echo, putting on Eternal Radiance will give you only one option to choose, which is Nightmare version of Morning X. Having this Echo on your main slot will give 12% spectral damage bonus to Phoebe. But if you go for Celestial Light, you are going to have 2 different echoes to choose, Jue and Morning X. When putting Jue on your main echo, Phoebe will gain 16% resonance skill damage bonus, while Morning X, after the transformation, will increase Phoebe's spectral damage and liberation damage bonus by 12%. For me, I would go for Morning X as the buff provided is considered good enough other than Jue, since Phoebe's Shamal Star damage is considered as basic attack attack damage. Then a buff from Jue is only applied on Ring of Mirror, which to me is not that good enough. Cost 3, you can adjust between Spectral and attack percent, so if your attack stats is a bit low, you can go for attack percent set. Cost 1 is of course you're going to put attack percent on both slot. For substat, is it recommend to get both crit value, any of the damage bonus such as Liberation, Skill or Basic Attack as your third choice whenever you try to tune some of the echoes in the future. And now come to the team synergy for Phoebe. So if I want to focus on Phoebe's Ultra skill, which will greatly benefit Resonator that can deal Spectral Frazzle, then going for Rover is your one-way team to go, since Rover also can deal and will gain buff from the Spectral Frazzle. For the third slot, you can put any support and healer Resonator like Verena, Showkeeper and Bai Ji. For the second team that I can think is good enough is combining Phoebe with Sanhua. So Sanhua's Ultra skill will buff the upcoming Resonator by amplify the basic attack damage bonus, and Phoebe, when deal damage inside the Ring of Mirror, is still considered as basic attack damage and not resonance skill. Since the Ring of Mirror is last for 30 seconds, which is quite long enough for Phoebe to deal a ton of damage, then I think this is a good team for her as of now only. Finally, Phoebe's material Ascension. Phoebe will need 46 of the Cleansing Conch, which can be farmed by defeating Lalaray at Nimbus Sanctum near Atrium of Reflection. She also needs 4 green Whispering Core, 12 blue Whispering Core, 12 purple Whispering Core, and lastly 4 of the gold Whispering Core. For the regional flowers, she will need 60 Firecracker Jewel Wheat that can be farmed in the new area Renasita. Finally, the total number of shell credits you need to fully ascend her is 170,000 shell credits. Also, for the total number of shell credits to fully level her up to level 90 is 1.2 million shell credits. For a skill level up, firstly you need a lot of these helix things. 25 of the green helix, 28 of the blue helix, 55 of purple helix, and lastly 67 gold helix. For the core, she will also use the same one, the Whispering Core. She will need 25 green Whispering Core, 28 blue Whispering Core, and 40 of the purple Whispering Core, and 57 gold Whispering Core. Weekly boss drop you need for a skill is the Sentinel Dagger that can be farmed from Jue at the Mount Firmament on Huanglong. Finally, the total amount of shell credits you need to fully level up all the skill is a whopping of 2.3 million shell credits. As always, most of the kit information I share with you all might get changed whenever the official release comes out, so please keep an eye on the comment section. I'll try to post there if some of the things have been changed. As always, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.